Hello, welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, another major oil find by ExxonMobil. Government to establish Department of Energy to overlook petroleum sector. Guyana appoints honorary consul to Haiti. And Plaisance fire victims get assistance from government. Stay tuned for the details of these and more. InfoHub begins with major breaking news coming out of Cabinet. Minister of Natural Resources RAPHAEL TROTMAN late this afternoon announced that ExxonMobil made another discovery of oil, this time in the Pacora field.
Another discovery of petroleum has been made, this time in the Pacora well, which is about 4 miles from the Payara well in the Stabroek block. And more details of this latest discovery, which has occurred within the last 48 hours, will be shared with the nation as we continue to have an aggressive program of exploration and, of course, as we proceed towards production in 2020. So to date, we have overseen the drilling of 7 wells by Exxon, 6 of which have borne fruit in that they have proven good. 1 has not. But we have so far an excellent record, and I'd like to congratulate the crew of the Stena Carron, which has been the ship that has done 90% of the discoveries without a day loss or any injury or any man-hours lost, and that is commendable. And of course, it has been done in a very efficient way.
Minister Trotman also announced that government will move to establish a Department of Energy which will focus exclusively on the development of the petroleum sector.
Last year, I did propose to His Excellency the President that we begin considering the establishment of a Department of Energy, which department will be the one that is focused only on the development of the petroleum sector. And so today we held and had a very lively discussion on the proposal which I presented, and it has been determined and decided that we will have the Department of Energy established, and this will be coming within the next few months. It will be housed at the Ministry of the Presidency, and so the President and Cabinet has mandated that I would head the task force, which would comprise the quintet of ministers. That would be ministers of finance, state, public infrastructure, business, and myself. And we will include the other ministers of public security, public communications, and hopefully ministers of education and public and social protection, So this task force will be meeting and will make a proposal to Cabinet as to how the new Department of Energy will be comprised, staffed, and what its mandate will be. Eventually, the expectation is that the Ministry of Natural Resources will hand over responsibility of the function of petroleum to this new department, and we will see a more direct and focused mandate from this Department of Energy, and we will, of course, as a cabinet, be supporting the department.
Join us on our website for more extensive reports. We continue with news coming out of Haiti, where our very own Tiffany Rogers is reporting that Guyana's new honorary consul to that country is looking to boost trade between the two nations.
Mark Kinzon Antoine received his letter of commission today from Minister of Foreign Affairs, Carl Greenidge. Minister Greenidge is in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, attending CARICOM's Heads of Government intercessional meeting.
I know that for now we are importing rice from Guyana, and I know that you guys have a lot of roads, and I would like the commercial relation to grow so we can have more export from Guyana and export from Haiti too, and vice versa.
Antoine, who works in shipping and sits on the American Chamber of Commerce here in Haiti, says he will be visiting Guyana soon to meet with businesses.
I want to go back because I would like to visit the main businesses that you guys have there, so I can let them know that they have a consul in Haiti now, or ever and whenever they want me to help them, they can contact me.
Reporting from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, for InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Guyana will be meeting with Norway to discuss the way forward with the agreement which was signed in 2009. This was confirmed by Minister of State Joseph Harmon. Details from Stacey Carmichael.
Minister of State Joseph Harmon explained that Norway's Environment Minister acknowledged receipt of a letter sent to him regarding issues with the agreement signed between the two countries. He said while there are issues with the agreement, it will not prevent Guyana from receiving the benefits to be accrued. Minister Harmon alluded to recent revelations by Commissioner of the Guyana Forestry Commission, James Singh, highlighting Guyana's performance achievements under the agreement.
With respect to the terms and conditions of the agreement itself, we are still working on those things, and there's still an active engagement on both sides. I think the question was asked about the extent to which the contract will be, the agreement will be going forward, what we're going to do about that. Certainly those are issues which we intend to address.
President David Granger, the state minister, explained, had made it clear that the Green State Development Strategy, GSDS, be placed as the highest priority of the agreement with Norway. According to Minister Harmon, he is not worried about the relationship with Norway being affected due to this decision to have it reviewed. Guyana and Norway signed the Climate and Forest Agreement in November 2009. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Some 40 persons who were affected by a March day fire that ravaged an apartment complex and 2 houses in Pleasance received support from the government. Seneca Thorne tells us more.
Some of the items handed over included beds and mattresses, stoves, kitchen utensils, and food vouchers. The fire victims also received cash ranging from $10,000 to $50,000. At a simple handing over ceremony at the Pleasance Secondary School East Coast Demerara, Minister of Social Protection Amna Ali told the victims that while she is aware that the items will not be enough, she hopes that it brings some relief to them.
I must say that, sometimes you have to expect the unexpected, because I'm sure none of you here would have thought that on a day like MASH Day, you would have been faced with such a thing.
InfoHub spoke to 2 of the fire victims, RONETTE HETSBURGER-MURRAY and Warren Gordon, who expressed gratitude to the government for the items.
I'm grateful and thankful. First of all, I want to thank God for life. And with regard to the contribution, I know it's going to go a long way because I have 3 kids going to school. It's not easy when you have kids going to school. This contribution will go towards ensuring that the transition from what they're accustomed to what they will be getting into is seamless.
I feel blessed. I feel it's very good what they're doing to help us out during the situation. I really appreciate it. What do you plan to do with it? Well, I'm trying to look for a better place, a better apartment to stay.
On February 23, a fire which started at an old ABIGAIL hotel on Victoria Road destroyed 3 other buildings, leaving 1 dead and some 40 persons homeless. These persons are currently being housed at the Pleasance Community Center. On February 24, Minister of Finance Winston Jordan and Minister within the Ministry of Natural Resources Simona Brooms also met with the residents and distributed items. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
The organizers of the Mashramani Costume Float Parade were commended by Crime Chief Paul Williams for helping the force to ensure that the day was incident-free. Stefan Gabriel spoke with him today.
With the Mashramani event being deemed a success, Crime Chief Paul Williams gave high commendation to the organizers and the Ministry of Social Cohesion for the recent Mashramani Costume and Float Parade.
It was well thought out, and with the police involvement in the whole security arrangement, I think, that is the way how we should go with the event. There are lots of things went towards our benefits and advantages. One, because of the venue where MASH kept at the Durban Park, it is the venue that really and truly sets out for that. Okay. Also, what you find now is that the route where the MASH went, it was very good enough in terms of where we could have able now to separate the revelers from the normal commuters and persons who went out there just, to observe and to see what is going on.
The senior police officer also commended persons attending the event for their conduct.
The persons who attended the event, they have conducted themselves well. We had no problem, no incident throughout. And come back again to the location. We were able now to concentrate certain amount of our resources there, and then still had enough where we can able now to man those routes and able to patrol around the city and the parks and so on. So we had everything well set out. It went well. And then again, I'm saying is that it's all come back to team effort. You understand? It comes back to team effort.
The Mashramani Costume and Float Parade 2018 saw a number of persons praising the police force for overall professionalism and security presence. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
Students on the east coast of Demerara were encouraged to study and embrace the African culture, as the Ministry of the Presidency, Department of Social Cohesion, in collaboration with the Mahaica Demerara's Regional Democratic Council, hosted an exhibition and lecture series at the Bedford-Wacting Secondary School in observance of Black History Month 2018. Crystal Stull was there.
Region 4's Regional Executive Officer Pauline Lucas praised the event since she believes it will educate students of their ancestors. African Community Development Association Executive Member Eric Phillips presented briefly on Black and Guyanese history.
These are things you need to know. These are things that will help you to understand what contributions were made by all the different groups that came to Guyana. And we should all be proud of that, because without them doing that, we wouldn't be here today.
CARICOM Ikemba representative Onika Frank urged the students to become youth advocates for their country. Students and teachers of the region who attended the event considered it as an educational one.
I'm very pleased at this event. I'm glad that we have this going on in honor of our Black folks and in order of giving them what they deserve for every contribution that they make in our society. I'm very pleased that they're being honored, and I am very proud to be a Black person in Guyana. So this brings me a lot of joy.
It was educational because most of the children get to learn more about the Black History Month, because I don't think much of them were aware of it. So they get to know about the persons also who made contributions towards the Black History Month, so we can have this great observance.
Additionally, several persons of the Demerara Mahaica district were honored for outstanding work in the region by the President's Youth Award Cooperative Republic of Guyana's office. Crystal Stahl for InfoHub.
And in our final report, as persons prepare to celebrate Pagua on Friday, March 2, Delicia Haynes spoke with representatives from the health and water agencies who have some advice for us.
Persons participating in playing Pagua should take the necessary health precautions. Principal Environmental Health Officer of the Ministry of Public Health, Abigail Liverpool.
Sometimes persons tend to get too excited and want to play with trench water. That we have to be very careful with, because the trench water is oftentimes contaminated from water that is coming from the pit latrines and the septic tank, and they contain bacteria and microorganisms which can make people sick.
In some areas throughout Guyana, the use of trench water and mud is a norm. However, Liverpool noted that when a person comes into contact with dirty water, immediate actions must be taken to prevent serious illnesses.
In the event anyone should ingest dirty water, they should try to at least consume a lot of pure water so that it helps to flush it out. The same thing when it comes to the dirty water getting on their skin or the trench water getting on their skin. Wash it out properly with clean water and soap.
Meanwhile, the Guyana Water Incorporated Director of Operations, Dwayne Sheko, is calling on persons not to damage and tamper with the network during the celebrations, or they may face serious penalties.
We're encouraging persons not to tamper with the network in that regard. Now, the Water and Sewage Act gives us the authority to prosecute persons, and actually is a fine of around $60,000 and 1 year imprisonment. So we will prosecute you if we find that you've tampered with the network, and we find out that you've been playing around with the service connections. We will be removing meters in order to access water. You'll be prosecuted.
Should the networks be tampered with, GWI will shut them down completely, Sheko said. He reminded that tampering with the networks severely impacts GWI and even customers.
The water from the trench gets back into the network. And what happens there is that the network now becomes contaminated with fecal coliform and all manner of pathogens that now can cause serious sickness and harm to the body.
For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
Senior citizens are advised that pensions payable for this month will only be available on Thursday, March 1 and will resume on March 5. Thanks for watching. Remember to connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.